All right, I got a handful of numbers from current manufacturer producing games. I've got Stern, Jersey Jack, American Spooky, and Barrels of Fun. It may be April 1st, but these numbers are no jokes. This is this month's pinball market. All right, sorry, that joke was a little terrible. First, before I jump into these numbers, thanks to Zach and Nicole Meny at Flippin' Out Pinball. Thank you for supporting us, for sponsoring our content. Without you, there would be no Loser Kid. I also want to thank all those that support us via Patreon. If you haven't done that so far, you can go on right now and do that. Also, Silverball Swag can give you plenty of our stuff if you're looking for that as well. Also, thanks to Pinside and pinballprices.com with 10 Fiddly. Without those sites, I wouldn't be able to do this kind of content. All right, let's start with these Stern numbers. Down right now, I hope this is no shock to you, Venom LE, right now I saw one for $8,100 or best offer. Premium $7,100, Pro as low as $4,500 and not selling. We have a handful of games, anywhere from 10 to 12 of each one of these that I'm talking about today that are just sitting. A lot of people are just trying to drop prices to get rid of them. If you don't have to get rid of these games, don't sell them right now because it is definitely a buyer's market. If you are looking for new pinball, honestly, now is your time. Stearns in mid fours is pretty crazy. I haven't seen this for at least 6-7 years now. All right, Foo Fighters LE in Michigan for $76.50. That's if it hasn't already sold as I have recorded this. Premium is down 4% and Pro is down 12%. If you're looking for a fantastic game with great code depth, Foo Fighters is where it's at. I can't tell you why these are holding out. I've heard rumors of maybe it's because of Dave Grohl and the drama going on with him. Maybe just people are tapped out on this Foo Fighters theme. It's a great design by Jack Danger. Code's wonderful by Raymond Davison. I don't get it. All right. Black Knight Sword of Rage LE dropped 14% over the last month. Sold for $8,800. You're going to see a lot of these double-digit percentages. It's kind of shocking. Beatles Gold dropped 13%, sold for $7,000. That was an awesome game for $7,000. TMNT Pro with almost 9,000 plays is sitting at 4,500 on Pinside right now. Stranger Things Pro $48.50 in California on Pinside right now. All right, up. Deadpool Premium is up 3%. Sounds still good, but the Pro did go down 10%. Iron Maiden Premium's up 13%. Jaws Premium up 2%, and Led Zeppelin of all games is up 3%. I'm hearing from distributors that Led Zeppelin's actually starting to catch some its second wind and really selling well on the secondary market because they're not producing them anymore. And Led Zeppelin's quite the band that holds its weight when it comes to merchandise. All right, let's move on to Jersey Jack Pinball. They just announced Harry Potter, and so you might want to catch up on some of their back catalog if you've been waiting to get some of these games. I know a lot of people have been saying they wanted Elton John to come down in price, but honestly, let's get to Elton John here a second. Let's get to down right now. Guns N' Roses LE sitting as low as $7,000. The SE, so the standard version, I've seen for $5,100. The CEs are actually retaining their value, so I wouldn't be barking up that tree too much. Toy Story 4 LE as low as $7,000. CE as low as $9,500. Right now, JJP is doing fire sales, and they're doing it on Toy Story 4 with a topper for $10,000, brand new in box. So you're pretty much same thing, right? And then the GNR LE they're doing for $9,000. I mean, as low as $7,000, you're still saving a couple bucks going used there. But if you've been looking for that Toy Story 4 and you want the CE, there you go. Elton John CE sold for $13,500. So that means it's down like $1,500, but still, it's pretty fine compared to everything else that's going on with Jersey Jack. Let's talk about the ups. Willy Wonka sold for $13,500, bringing it up 7%. I don't know what's going on with Willy Wonka. It's a fine game. It really is. Pat Lawler did a great job with it. And so, it's a wonderful theme. Also, Pirates of the Caribbean Standard sold for $19,000. This brought it up by 12%. People just want this game. All right, let's move on to American. Down. Barrio's Barbecue Classic. This is the standard edition, essentially. It took a 22% hit, selling as low as $4,300. If this is a game you've been waiting for, you can find them. Year over year, you are losing value on all American games. Like Houdini loses the least amount of value over the year, over its lifespan. It's only lost 8%, but barbecue is on the high end and it's lost 25%. And this game just came out like a year or so ago. I mean, I don't know what to say about American, and really on the upside for American, I don't know if there is one at this point. There's just so many red flags here. I would like to hope and see with them turning the page to a new chapter in their company that something will change, but we will see. Spooky just released Evil Dead. People are loving that game. It's getting rave reviews. They just sold out. Congrats, guys, at TPF. Right now, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is down 8% from $8,500 to $8,000. $500 is $500. Scooby-Doo and both the TNA runs are down 3%. The first run just had one sell for $6,300. My opinion, the first run was one of the best runs of the TNA. If you can find yourself one of these at $6,300, that is a great deal. Down also, this one kind of blew me away. Ultraman. I know you're not shocked at that, but it has dropped 44% since its initial release. Remember, this is a game that released at the height of COVID in 2021. It was the counterpart to Halloween, and it's now just selling at $5,000. If you want an Ultraman and you want a spooky, it's probably the game you should go for right now. On the up and up, Alice Cooper's Nightmare Castle is up 8% from its original release, and it is holding steady at $6,800. Pretty good. And this one kind of took me from left field. I wasn't expecting this. Dominoes is up by 12% from its initial release. There's not a ton of these floating around out there, and the last one sold in like 2023, but still it's holding its value at $5,800. People are still relisting this occasionally. And so, I mean, if you really want on Dominoes, you don't have to worry about taking much of a hit with it. Barrels of Fun. I know they've only released one game, so this was kind of easier. That's why I tacked it on here. But Barrels of Fun, the rumor is they're getting close. I mean, they've even announced it in an email themselves. They're getting close to releasing their next game, right? They're wrapping up Labyrinth. They released Labyrinth, MSRP at $10,600. One just sold used for $92.50. That's 13% down. There's a handful of these on Pinside right now, but they're all hovering around $10K. So my thought process is the $92.50 is still a lot of money for a game, right? Like it's where Venom is setting at $4,500 and not moving. I'm not complaining if I have a Labyrinth and I sell it for $92.50, right? You're still getting in at pretty much all the way at a Stern premium if you felt inclined to move from Barrels of Fun to Stern. You know, the pinball market is looking kind of bleak. It's nothing selling at this point. If you have a pinball machine that you've been thinking about selling, I would just hold off. Unless you really need to move it. I know there's some people out there, economic times are hard right now, and so people are just trying to squeeze a dime out of wherever they can find it. But you can get a lot more value later on out of these pinball machines once the economy bounces back. Problem is, I don't know when that is. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just letting you know. This is probably the lowest point we're going to see some of these. It could go lower. I haven't ever seen Stearns lower than 4,500, and I've been in this hobby 11 years now, and I think the lowest I ever bought a Stern used was 4,200, and that was a Star Trek. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to get a hold of us, we're at loserkidpinballpodcast at gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of us on all of the socials, at loserkidpinball, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, we're on it. Also, once again, Silverball swag, check it out. Also, right behind me, Stumbler Pinball. They sent me a new mod, wonderful mod, the Buoy of Death for Jaws. I'm loving it. We might do a little wrap up on that on the next episode. Once again, thanks for tuning in.